how should people navigate their personal branding, their authenticity, when it comes to their career, and not just going to work? I mean, actually finding a job. So we're talking about, um, and I think I'm maybe jumping ahead on some things here, but the how do they decide what they share and how they share it, if they share it, and when they share it? I guess is the short way to for that long question.
Well, when we talk about professional branding, first we have to really understand what our brand is. And that's very hard for some people because um, they don't see themselves as a brand. Now, in your professional life, you have a professional brand. What do you bring to the table? What do you stand for? And sometimes a lot of the LGBTQ rights, it might be part of your brand. So first, identify your brand and just make sure you uphold it in everything you do, and share your brand. Now, how deep you share, that's another conversation we could have, but understand you want to make sure that your brand, what you bring to the table, is something what a company wants also. Um, so first establish a brand, go, work with a coach, understand what matters to you. And then what do you bring to the table? And then try to align that brand with the companies you want to work for. Because, for example, years ago, I worked for Macy's as a operations manager, and I interviewed this woman to come on board as a department manager. One of the departments she was going to be in charge of was the fur department. And she didn't seem to have any challenge with it. She comes on board, and 2 weeks later, she comes to me, I have to quit. I'm very active in PETA. I can't stand selling furs. So why did she go ahead with that? And so she went against her brand to
Right.
take that job, maybe because she needed the job, but she didn't last because it didn't fit. So sometimes little nuances like that can have a huge impact whether we become productive or happy in our future careers.
And I think this kind of gets back to like what we were talking about earlier, is you were an operations manager who happened to be gay. You were not a gay operations manager. So you made the decision that your brand is you're an excellent operations manager,
Right.
you're an excellent career coach, you're an excellent, and you happen to be gay.
Right.
So it's you've made a conscious decision on what your brand is.
Right. And then some people's brand is, wearing the pride flags every day to go to work, and that's fine if that's your brand, and then you have to find a place where they respect that brand.
Right.
For me, it was more about the strategy and more about the work, and then the secondary was I'm gay. So some people, and again, there's no right or wrong way. Just making sure you find a place you're going to flourish and thrive, which is very difficult in today's workplace. But yet, there are many jobs out there, many companies. My husband is a perfect example of that. Um, Obviously, he's gay. He's my husband, but he worked for TIA Craft in New York City for 24 years, and then when he decided to make a shift and make a career, and TIA Craft in what TIA is now, always gay friendly. But even when he went on searching for a next job, and he went on many interviews and stuff, part of his process was finding out companies that would respect his GLBT community. And if you find out a company wasn't, he would he would just stop the interview process. But even during the job interviews, he would navigate. He didn't put I'm gay on a resume. He might put the personal pronouns, but during the job interview, he would say, "Well, me and my husband love to travel, on our
Mhm.
vacations." A little hint, and he would just get that reaction from them if they were comfortable with it, and majority of the time, totally comfortable with it because he already applied to companies that um but that
He
had
did his
a
research.
yeah, he did his research before. um so, and again, he's the same way as me. He's a director of HR who happens to be gay, not a gay director of HR. And again, there's different ways of looking at your brand.
And again, we're talking right now about LGBTQ plus, but everything that you're saying, it really resonates with anyone, whether it's an ethnicity, whether it's a
Right.
gender, whether it's you need to from your personal brand, what is it that is that first thing that you're presenting? Is it that you're a woman? Is it that you're Hispanic? Is it that you're gay? Or is it that you are a director of benefits?
Yeah, and I think a lot of professional brands should be formed around leadership. And then we look at leadership should be inclusive of everybody on your team. So a lot of the stuff should just be muted. Unfortunately, it's not. But that's where, when I look at someone who's in a leadership role, it should be equity with everybody. And that should be a lot of people's brand around the leadership you bring to the table. There's a series on HBO. It's called We Are Here. And especially drag queens that go into these rural towns in middle America and stuff where the resources just aren't out there. So the show goes in a direction, but sometimes geographically where you live could dictate what's available. But one thing that COVID did for us as a community, it opened up this remote possibility. So some people can't move out of their state for whatever reason, or can't move to a more gay-friendly city. But now with remote work, we can still pick those great companies that respect us and be part of that company. So I think that's been one of the positive things came out of COVID, giving those people who are not close to the resources, are not close to those corporate offices, and whether it's Seattle, New York City, Chicago, Miami, it's a lot more accepted. So I do think the opportunities are a lot more massive than it was 5 years ago.
This video is brought to you by the Career Experts Group, a joint venture of master career practitioners and personal branding strategists, founded in 2021. You are invited to visit www.careerexpertsgroup.com to access a wealth of additional resources focused on the latest in career and hiring trends, insights, tips, and tricks that support your career journey, including past and present issues of our monthly newsletter, Your Career, Your Future. While you're on YouTube, don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel and make sure your notification setting is turned on so you don't miss any of our informative videos. Until next time, keep making the most of every opportunity. Stay tuned, stay empowered, and most of all, stay inspired.